Hi everyone. It's a long time since I've produced one of these highly professional crafted videos where I prop my phone up on the dashboard of my car and hope for the best. But in fact, I don't even remember the last time I did one, but it's got to be more than a year. Anyway, I was thinking this morning, I'm actually on my way, highly professional camera work. I'm actually on my way to a function, which is really exciting. There's some really exciting things happening for me in our magnesium business, and the magnesium business was never meant to be a business, actually. I was just making it for myself and for friends, and then it kind of grew on its own, and then we've decided now to really step it up, and it's going to be our main source of sustainable income for the women's shelter that we're building in Ghana. So it's all really exciting. And today I'm on my way to a Chinese association function because we've got some interest from China. So amazing. Anyway, I'm going to use the word funky. The title of my book is How to Get Out of a Funk, and I've been feeling funky for a few days now, and I was sort of reflecting on that, and I know why I'm feeling funky, so it doesn't really matter why. What matters is what do you do about it? So for me, my old ways of dealing with funk days prior to being more self-aware and really looking at how best to deal with this. In the past, I would sit there and stuff chocolate down my throat and feel sorry for myself and bury my head in the sand. But it doesn't actually help, because things will always trigger us. And that's actually what led to me writing my book, because we needed to be empowered to find ways to get out of funk. So, and I'm not saying that to promote my book, but I am actually a living embodiment of why my book came about. Because when I'm in a funk, I find it hard to think of what to do, and etc. So anyway, this morning I was rushing around the house, and I was noticing that I'm now much more aware of the warning signs that I'm heading towards. I use the term meltdown is not really what I want to go to, but I feel wobbly, I guess is the word. And so in the past, I didn't used to notice my warning signs, and then I would find myself in a complete state. And then in the end, what would happen is I would most likely cancel things or pull out of everything. So I just want to talk about a couple of things that I have found helpful this last couple of days. So first of all, it's noticing the signs. So for me, what I notice is I get, and everyone's going to be different. So for me, I don't drink, I don't smoke, so I don't turn to those things more than normal. So that's, some people might say, I notice I've smoked 2 packets of cigarettes instead of 1, or I've drunk more than I usually do, etc. That doesn't happen for me, and so I am more aware, I guess, of other things that really impact on me, because I don't have those things to fall back on. So for me, I become almost fixated is probably the word, or obsessed with my house. So if everything is not just so, or if I feel like there's something that's not where it should be, or if something feels out of control, it starts to feel really awkward and really uncomfortable, and I just feel unsettled until it's done. Like, for instance, I'm leaving now for this function, but I had to make the bed because the level of unease in me was really uncomfortable, and so I had to make the bed. And yes, I could have got my husband to do it, but I like it done my way, which is a whole nother story. So anyway, the other thing that happens is I find that I look at my calendar and I feel completely overwhelmed about how I'm going to fit everything in, even though I'm in control of my calendar and I am mindful of not overbooking myself or overcommitting myself, but I start to feel this really strong sense of unease around meeting all my commitments. And what I find myself doing is walking from room to room, muttering and complaining about how I can't get everything done, which obviously doesn't help either. And so the other thing that I find for me, and this is definitely sort of one of my final signals that, hey, you need to pull your head in and start doing what you need to do and teach and learn what you teach, is I have this sense of my shoulders hanging from my ears. So it's this sort of, obviously it's not physically happening, but obviously this is where I carry a lot of tension, and so I feel this really strong sense of being pulled up here. So what do you do about it? That's the secret. So everyone's got their own ways of dealing with stuff. So for me, I just said to my husband this morning, sorry, it's really wobbly, but it is what it is. Life is wobbly, isn't it? So I said to my husband this morning, I verbalized what was happening. I said, I feel it. I feel myself succumbing to it, and I don't want to go there. And so this is what I need in order to feel like I'm getting where I need to get. So, for example, I needed some things from the shop. So he went and got those for me. He said, can I pack the car for you? He can't come with me because he's got to work. Can I pack the car for you? Yes, that'd be great. And then he said to me, now I've got a little bit of time before I need to go to work. What can I do to support you while I'm here, you know? And so for me, engaging that external support is actually probably one of the most important things I'd suggest. But unless you verbalise it, people don't know. And so everyone will say to me, most people know I've had depression and anxiety for most of my life. But I've often had people say to me, you of all people, I never would have thought you had that experience. But the reality is, for the most time, I'm actually really, really good. But there are days where I get into a funk like anyone else. And the reason I think other people might also be having this experience is that there's a lot of pressure on people this time of year around social engagements or buying presents or whatever it is. Now, I'm doing a super simple Christmas this year. We're actually not buying gifts because I'm going to be away. And so I'm just buying gifts for where I'm staying with my youngest son, and because I haven't had Christmas with him for years, it's going to be lovely. But everyone has this enormous pressure around what's expected of them in terms of gift giving and in terms of engagement, and people might feel overwhelmed in a sense of obligation. So sometimes it's also a matter of learning when to say no. Like, is this in my best interest to say yes to this, or is it going to increase the level of my anxiety, or is it going to add an extra level of burden that I can't deal with? How it's funny, my phone just gave me a mindfulness reminder from my app saying whatever the present moment provides, accept it as it is. How beautiful this timing of that. So yeah, it's a matter of saying, well, can I say no to this, or can I change it somehow? Because if we often say yes, 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 what I find, I don't know about you, but sometimes I have to say no because I've literally pushed myself or overcommitted myself, and I end up disappointing people. So for instance, tomorrow I've got a really, really busy day. And there is one thing when I looked at my day starts really early, and it probably won't finish until about 10:30 at night because I have committed to a few things tomorrow. So, and that's a big day for me. And I already know, because I've got a big day today, and that I already know I'm not going to probably get the maximum amount of sleep. And if I don't get enough sleep, that's another big trigger for me. So I've already decided, and I've to try to change one of my early morning commitments, because if I can remove that one, that will give me a little bit more breathing space during the day. So I guess with all of this chitter chatter, what I'm trying to say is, it's so important that we understand what it is that causes us levels of stress, and everyone is different. For one person, it's water off a duck's back. For somebody else, it might be, life-changing stuff. So first of all, respect that what your triggers are your triggers, and recognise that that's okay. Secondly, engage the support that you... My phone just gave me a warning that it's too hot. So I think I better wind this up quickly. Secondly, engage the support that you need in order to feel supported. And I know that sounds weird, but for everyone, again, that's going to be different. For me, it's around, okay, these things I need to get done, so can somebody help me do those? And thirdly, be gentle with yourself and do whatever it is that makes you feel good. So if it's going for a walk, if it's reading a book, or calling a friend, or doing something that makes you feel okay, do that, because that's what keeps us going, and everyone wants us to be well. And if you're honest with people too, like if you say to people, you know what, I'm feeling like I'm not actually okay and I need a little bit of support, or I'm not going to be able to make it tomorrow, but can we do this another day? People actually respect that. Just be straightforward and tell them what's going on, and then you'll get the support you need as well. So anyway, that's enough for me. I don't even know if it made sense. Oh. My phone just went hot again. So I'm highly professional here. Anyway, I'm going to sign off and hope that some of that made sense, and have an awesome day and get what you need for yourself, and do what you need for yourself, and engage whatever supports you need in order to be well and supported. God, that's too many supports in one sentence. Anyway, I'm off now. Bye.